Okay, Matt Durbin here with eXp Realty. Today we want to take a look at the South Hills, and we're going to take a look at kind of what's going on in the market as far as inventory levels are concerned. So it is April 8th, and we want to take a look at the March market statistics for some South Hills area school districts. Obviously we know what's going on. April 8th, we are in full lockdown, and we may be here for the remainder of the month, is what it's sounding like right now. So we want to look at, I think you can kind of throw a lot of things out the window right now as far as median price, homes that hit the market, supply and demand, things like that. And I think we really need to just pin down and look at and watch inventory levels, because that's going to really determine what happens in the South Hills here and what happens in our market as soon as they turn the faucet back on, so to speak, as far as the real estate market is concerned here in the South Hills. So I'm going to pull up some charts. Everybody likes charts, as Trump would say. So here's some market statistics here. So we're going to look at some specific school districts. I just pulled some of the bigger ones in and around kind of the South Hills, and including South Fayette, which I think kind of is a little bit of a carryover, and as well as Chartiers Valley. So let's take a look at this. This is Baldwin Whitehall. So right now we have 1.1 months worth of inventory. This is a 2-year scale by month where the inventory levels are at. You can see here that even in 2018, Baldwin Whitehall, there was only like a month, 1.3 months worth of inventory. So not a huge change. However, we were still working in March, and we were still putting properties on the market in March. You're seeing a little bit of carryover of that right now. But I expect April's numbers to be pretty dramatic. So we want to run through some other ones here. This is a huge change. Bethel Park, there's 0.8 months worth of inventory on the market right now. So that means, based on the number of homes that sell every month, how many buyers are in the market, how many homes that will sell versus how many homes are available to purchase. There's not even a month's supply in Bethel Park. So what does that tell me? It tells me if you're in Bethel Park and you've got to sell this year, you're thinking about selling, this summer is going to be the time that you're going to sell. Even with all this craziness going on, I would have my home listed and ready to go the second that they lift this hold on real estate and they lift this stay-at-home order, because there is nothing to buy, and there are still buyers in the market. We're getting buyer requests every day to see properties that we can't show them because of the governor's order. So Bethel Park, 0.8 months worth of supply. There's just no inventory. Brentwood, 1.1 months worth of inventory. Inventory levels have been extremely low, other than this huge spike in the winter of 2018, but still really low in Brentwood. Once again, down, and April's going to be even worse. Chartiers Valley, about normal where it was previously, so nothing too crazy going on. In March, again, we'll take a look at April. Keystone Oaks, 1 month worth of inventory in March. So with no new homes coming on the market in April, or very little trickling through, we're listing some vacant properties and things like that could potentially get a sight unseen offer, or have an investor offer. But occupied homes aren't really hitting the market right now. So to have only 1 month's supply and have no new homes coming on in April, or until this is lifted, you're going to see that continue to go down. So there's just nothing to buy in Keystone Oaks, and there won't be when the market hits. Mount Lebanon, down from 2.2 months a couple of years ago around the same time, which is March. 1.7 months worth of inventory right now. Same deal there, although this is a market where you probably will see a lot of stuff still hit in that May, June, summer months, sell in the summer kind of mindset in Mount Lebanon. Here's a look at South Fayette. They went from 3 months down to 2.1 months worth of inventory. So again, same lines, everything's down, 31% down from a couple of years ago. This is Upper St. Clair, 1.5 months worth of inventory. Same deal, got to keep an eye on it. West Jefferson Hills, 2.8 months worth of inventory, so not a huge change there. A little bit more of a level, or if that's a word, level market, as opposed to some of the other ones where you've seen a huge decrease. And kind of same deal with West Mifflin, not a huge change in those markets as a whole. So I want to look at just a quick summary. We're going to do that. And so again, March 2020, we're looking at South Hills area school districts in Allegheny County. So here's a quick summary of where the inventory levels are at as of the end of March. Again, all extremely low. Normal market, 6 to 7 months worth of supply. We've got barely one in a few of our markets, most 2 months worth of inventory. So if we don't have any new supply come into the market in April, there's not going to be a lot of buy, and there are buyers in the market that are ready to purchase property right now. So it's something that you've got to consider. If you've got to sell, you've got to do what you can to get your property ready to go, so that when that market switches and they open it back up and we're able to see properties and we're able to sell properties again, this is a huge opportunity for you to take advantage of what's going on in the market and low inventory levels, and be, quite frankly, the only show in town for a lot of buyers. They're not going to have many options available to them, unfortunately. So what are we going to watch for in April? And this is something that we're kind of looking at, what's going to happen. We're watching, we're trying to figure out which direction the market's going to head. We're trying to stay on top of kind of what's going on with mortgage interest rates, with lenders, inventory levels, stuff like that. So obviously we don't know how long we're going to be locked in. Right now they're kind of looking at the end of April. Pennsylvania is one of the only considered non-essential real estate states in the country. So there's not a lot of anything that's happening right now. If that changes, that will help things out. Vacant properties to be shown, safe showings, following CDC guidelines, things like that. But as of right now, nothing can be seen, nothing can be shown, and it's basically put a freeze on the entire real estate market. We will see a continued drop in inventory levels. Obviously, if we can't put properties on the market, inventory levels are going to decrease. Right now, we're hearing a lot of lenders that are tightening FHA guidelines, whereas you may have been able to get approved with a 580 credit score with FHA. Some lenders are now bumping that up to 620, 640, and that's because they really don't have anybody to buy it on the secondary market. I think the investors on the secondary market are tightening their guidelines, and that's affecting some of the local lenders. Although I've seen a couple lenders nationally who are selling directly to Ginnie Mae or some of the government organizations, and they're still doing the 580 credit score stuff. But it's something that we have to keep an eye on, because lenders are going to start tightening up what they're lending on. Obviously, we're going to see an increase in unemployment, and we're going to see people miss payments most likely. And if they don't have something worked out with credit card companies, financial institutions, things like that, I just don't know what effect that's going to have on credit scores, and that could unfortunately push some buyers out of the market if they're not able to kind of work with their lending institution. Most of them are. So if you're in danger of going late on a payment, I would contact whoever you've got to pay and see if you can work something out there. Is there going to be a decrease in buyer demand? Buyers holding off? I think you'll see a slight decrease where some buyers are just afraid to do anything right now because of the uncertainty. So the more uncertain people are about what's going to happen, the more they tend to freeze and not do anything. So while some buyers have to buy, you'll probably see a slight decline in the buyer demand in our area. However, with very low inventory, I still think it's a seller's market in a big way as soon as we kind of open things back up. The market segments that we're going to watch, we can look at some of the past experiences that we have, some of the market crashes that we've seen in the past. Luxury and high-end price points, they're going to get affected. There's no way they're not. People with a ton of money in the stock market, they just got crushed. There's going to be uncertainty in the luxury and high-end price points, and that's just a fact. There's no way there's not. New construction, I think it depends on price point. Once again, I think the kind of the more average price points, you'll probably still see new construction, but I would probably be afraid to build a new construction home for $1.5 million right now and think that I'm not going to be upside down when that's all said and done. I think patio homes are still going to sell. People still need to downsize right now. They still need main level living, things like that. Commercial market, I think, is going to be in trouble. I think we're going to really have to watch that. And as you can see now, with many companies now realizing how important it is to be able to take advantage of technology, work from home, things like that, I think you're going to see commercial rental space get hammered. I think you're going to see some retail spaces, strip malls, stuff like that. They're going to be in trouble. Again, I just think a lot of businesses probably just aren't going to come back from this. Some of those businesses that are kind of dealing month to month. We continue to debate this, whether or not we're going to see a huge spike in foreclosures. I think it's going to be more on the short sale side. I don't think these banks are they want to take these properties over. I don't think they want to foreclose. I don't think they want to own 1 million properties like they did back in 2008 during that market crash. And they're already working with buyers and being proactive to do forbearance, do loan modification. So if anything, I think we see a lot more short sales and a lot of lenders willing to work with people. If you do get into a tough spot and you need to sell, you may want to look at the short sale route. It's obviously a better option than a foreclosure. Not ideal, but it's still going to give you less effect on your credit than just letting the property go into foreclosure. So in addition to that, I think the last thing that we're looking at is financial restrictions. Are they still lending on jumbo loans? I've heard that's tightening. Investor loans, that's tightening right now. Commercial financing on bigger deals, I think they're going to be less apt to lend as much money or lend at all on certain commercial deals. Construction loans, I think you'll probably see that start to dry up, or they'll be super strict on their criteria. Same with bridge loans. And I think they're going to start looking at lines of credit. I do not think that banks are going to be just giving away lines of credit or bridge loans for somebody to, pull money out of a house, use that money as a down payment on another one and then, kind of pay it off. I think you're going to see that stuff continue to tighten. So, as always, we're going to continue to watch the market. If you do want to know what's going on in your specific market, or you want us to run a market report on your property, if you're curious as to whether or not you should sell right now, you should hold off, what's happening in the market, check back with us. Or let us know. We'll put a market report together for your property. We'll show you what's on the current market. And really, you need to develop a strategy as to what you're going to do if you're going to consider buying and selling in a market right now. That's going to be one of the hardest things to do as we kind of move into an uncertain market with crazy inventory levels. A buy-sell scenario is going to be a little bit more difficult and restrictive. And we've got to go through all of the options with you and figure out what the best move is. And we can kind of take it from there. So as always, if there's anything we can do, reach out to us, call, email, text. We are available. We are home, and we've got nothing but time to talk to you if you need to discuss what your real estate needs are. Thanks again.